Hi everyone, Alicia Brachet here at Cosmic Gateway. Hope you're having a great week. This is the intuitive guidance insights for moving into the fourth week of December 2018 as we move beyond through into solstice and beyond. So let's have a look and see what themes are coming up for you this week. I don't want to come out. Let's try a different deck. We'll come back to those ones. Oh, nice. Go with these ones. How interesting. Okay. Very interesting reading. I might go with these at the end. All right. So, first of all, the first two cards that have come up, which is really interesting, they're very, very similar images. We have the moon and we have the hermit. So we've got yearning and desire and wisdom of solitude. So this could be a very insular kind of going within, really connecting within for yourself this week. And it might be a necessary time to do that, to seek the clarity or seek the inner wisdom that your soul's asking for you to do, is like come home, reconnect, and find out what's important for you at this time. It may be that you want to kind of retreat at this time, knowing that over the holiday season can bring up a lot for so many people. So if you feel the need to do that, really honor yourself and where you're at first and foremost, and do the necessary actions to, a lot of self-care. So have a look at these pictures because they're really beautiful. I mean, I just love them. But look how similar they are. We've got the two, so we've got the moon there and the hermit, and we do have the full moon coming up on I think it's the 23rd here in Australia, but the 22nd for most of the world. And that can be a time where a lot of release happens around the time of the full moon, and obviously we've got solstice as well, so it could be a time of really going within to be able to release the remnants or the debris that's come up in this last cycle for you, whether it's a yearly cycle or it could be closing off from a couple of years, and it might just require that time to go in and stay still and really honor and reflect on the journey that has been, so that you can start that new journey come the new year, or whenever that kicks off for you. So take that time and really just rest and nurture is what I feel from that card. So important to take that time to rest and nurture. Moving on to the other two cards, I have Sophia and the Resurrection. So interesting to fall around the time of Christmas to have the Resurrection card, but I'll go into that. So the Sophia card there, that one talks about conflict resolution in terms of you and another. It could be just for yourself, but it talks about seeking or offering forgiveness. And so it could be something that's blown up in the past, you've had disagreement or a fallout with someone who really is very deeply connected to you on a soul level, and it's asking you to find the deeper meaning within the lesson of what transpired and what that brought up, so that you can really reflect on finding that peace and that forgiveness for the situation and for the people that are involved. And probably around this time is a good time to do that, and to see people for where they're at, and not to take it personally, and just see what sort of a divine offering it was in whatever situation played out. It could be that you had a challenging year and you're at a process of letting go of those challenges so that you can move forward. So really take that time in that reflection space to do that. The resurrection card, look at that. Seems like there's a theme kind of emerging, because, you know, when I look at that card, you know, it's new life, it's birth, it's hope, it's renewal and refinement. I want to say refinement of the soul, of our process, of our journey. But, you know, after, you know, death, like crucifixion, death and resurrection, and the birthing of a new self, a new version of yourself. And no doubt that by going deep within and really digging deep to find that forgiveness or that deeper understanding and clarity of how things have played out the way that they have, you will reemerge from that with a newfound sense of clarity and peace, and be able to move forward in and holding a bit more strength within yourself. So what a beautiful way. And yeah, as I was saying, that masculine energy, because I see a lot of yellow in that card, and, you know, I see the masculine energy connected to the solar plexus. So it could be time to heal perhaps stuff that's going on in the solar plexus, because the body is very, very intelligent, and, you know, physical symptoms will highlight specific things that we need to address, whether it's on an emotional level, energetic. Certainly an interesting reading. Let's see. I look down and it's 1:11 p.m. Look at the themes of that. Interesting. Okay, so just to follow on, we have make a decision. Feeling stuck or indecisive, listen to your intuition and make a decision. There we go. So it could be time to make a decision of how you're going to move forward. And, you know, I always joke about this, and not, you know, maybe people won't agree with me, but I think sometimes, you know, making decisions is a bit of an illusion, because quite often the higher self knows exactly where it's going. It's just the human self that feels that, you know, has to go through that experience of feeling stuck and indecisive to learn from that. And when we can kind of tap into that aspect of ourselves, into our higher self and our soul, that's where the clarity comes in. And it's the human stuff and the mental stuff that kind of confuses it, and that's also a necessary part of the process. So yeah, use that time when you're going into that solitude place to really understand where you're at and where your heart is pulling you towards, and go with that, make that decision. And quite often, once we make that decision, we can feel a sense of relief. We can feel a sense of lightheartedness, because when, you know, decisions are weighing on us, we can feel heavy and weighed down. And then once we kind of make that decision to make that action and move forward, things start to fall into place. So also have the self-forgiveness card. You can't make this up. Let go of old guilt. Remember that you're a perfect child of God. Absolutely. We all are absolutely perfection, divine perfection, going through this awakening experience as a collective and individually. And what comes to mind when I look at that card is that sometimes forgiveness is, you know, we look at forgiveness externally, you know, forgiving other people for the wrongdoings that they have, you know, opposed upon us from our perspective. But quite often we kind of forget to forgive ourselves for you know, feeling a certain way or doing a certain action, and we can be really hard on ourselves and beat ourselves up unnecessarily. And it certainly reminds me of a time in my life where all of a sudden life just literally became easy. It was like literally a switch had flicked overnight, and all of a sudden things just seemed lighter. And this is going back many, many years. And I remember pondering on that for months, trying to work out what was the recipe. Why did all of a sudden life become a bit more magical? And it really took me a while to understand what it was. And I realized that it was, I stopped beating myself up. You know, I started to become more loving and kind of compassionate towards myself. And I stopped putting such unnecessary pressure on myself to do or be in a certain way. And I realized that I just wanted to live my life from a joyful place. And all of a sudden, you know, that magic that can come in started to present in so many profound ways. So, you know, take that message if that's a little gem for you, because the final card that comes up is the Divine Magic card. And extra magic energy surrounds your situation right now. Expect miracles. And certainly it's, you know, it's that time of year that we can really expect magic to happen. I mean, magic happens all the time, but, you know, around this time of year when we can feel in that kind of stuck in that place, that's where, you know, don't give up before the miracle occurs. I think that's where I want to leave it. So sending you so much love. I hope that resonates or helps on some level. I will be doing sessions over the holiday period, so I will put the descriptions in the description box below of the different services that I offer, the energy alignments, all the different sessions. I'll put that down there if that's something that interests you or resonates with you. If not, have a fabulous week and I will connect with you soon. Mwah, much love.